Hey, Vincent here with an Alibre tutorial. Today we'll be doing Too Tall Toby's brace plate. And I know that at this point, the challenge has been released for a while now, and this has been a difficult challenge. There has been some tutorials out there for Alibre as well. Ex Machina has one for the brace plate. Harold has one as well for Alibre for the brace plate. It seems like everyone has a different way of modeling this part. I also had a different way. At this point, this tutorial is kind of redundant because we already had two very good tutorials out there. But I thought I'd just put out, the method that I used or I found to work out this part. So let's get started. So jumping into Libre, first thing is we're going to switch to this top-down view. We're going to create a sketch on this ZX plane. And actually, before we do anything, we got to make sure that go to properties, make sure that the units are in inches and the mass is in pounds. And very similar to Ex Machina, the first thing you do is to model out that base kind of plate. So I'm going to create a line on the right side over here, enter in 2.375. And then similarly use a midpoint constraint. I used a midpoint constraint around the origin. And then using the line again, draw out a line over here. And then switching over to the tangent arc, draw an arc. And then select both of these, using the mirror tool, mirror it across this axis over here. And then add a line to finish it off. Using the tangent constraint, make sure everything's tangent. Okay, and then also adding in the radius for this arc of 0.625, entering that dimension distance between these 2 points over here of 5 inches. And let's see, and then an equality constraint between this back line and this front line over here. And then just for completion's sake, I will add between the center of the hole and the origin, so add a 2.5 to center it along or make it centered. And then also add in a 0.5 millimeter hole on both of these sides. So quickly just get this base done because I think everyone's approach is kind of similar. I think Harold I saw had a different approach using fillets. That's really cool. That's actually what I do in plasticity sometimes. That's my go-to. But anyways, here we go. We have this base. We deactivate the sketch, extrude, and we extrude the value of 0.25. So up until this point, I think everyone's approach is very similar. Then I'm going to create another sketch on this XY plane. I think, is where it all differs of how we approach in building out the sketch that's needed to get that tombstone shape. What I did was kind of create one sketch that has everything, like all the dimensions of everything on this from the side, and then just slowly build extrusions from there. So I'm going to show that approach again. So here from the side view, I'm going to project in these two faces for reference. So create reference figure, maintain association. And then here I'm going to draw that line, that 15-degree line. So here I'm going to first enter 4.25. Make sure it's 15 degrees. Oops, 15 degrees. Enter. And then I'm using a horizontal constraint. I'll make sure it's horizontal to the bottom over here. And then also dimension, or add the distance of 2.875 from that bottom corner. I'm going to draw another line, making sure that it's parallel. So if I draw it correctly, enter in 1.625. Now there's that parallel line. And then I'm also going to just draw one that just extends all the way out here, making sure it's parallel. There you go. And then now I need to draw in some perpendicular lines. So if I draw it carefully, get that perpendicular constraint, which is what I want. I'm draw one over here as well, perpendicular constraint, that's what I want. Using the coincident constraint, I can click on this and then click on this top of this base over here. Similarly for this one. And then let's see, what else do I need to do? Oh yeah, another line over here. Draw in another 75-degree line or 105-degree line. So 105. Let's just do 105 and then make this coincident with this line over here. And let's see, I need to get that cylindrical piece in. So using the circle tool that sits on this line, enter in 1.25, add a tangent constraint between that the back piece and the cylinder piece. Add another circle for that through hole of 0.75. Enter. And then I need to draw a line where from this intersection where it comes down. It's tangent. So it comes down over here. And then I guess I need another reference line over here, making sure that it's parallel. Add this distance over here between these two lines of 0.25. And then I guess there needs to be a line that comes up here that's first parallel to this existing line. When I'm using the coincident constraint, it touches this line over here, and then also I need a distance of this point from the base of 0.875. And that's pretty much it. So like everything, this master sketch that includes all of the dimensions from this drawing in this place. Before I deactivate the sketch, I'm first going to select everything and just convert it to reference figures. Okay, and then lastly, one more thing. For some reference points, in order to build that tombstone, I need this point over here, and this center point over here as references, and then an axis that runs through this 15-degree line. So here I'm going to insert a point from sketch. I'm going to select this first point, which is the bottom of the front of that tombstone. Click apply. I'm going to click the center point over here. Click apply, and then this back over here, which represents the back of that tombstone. Click apply, close, and then lastly insert an axis. So axis, select this reference line. Okay, that's done. I can deactivate the sketch. Okay, that's a lot of stuff that's created from one sketch. But here, next thing, kind of similar to Harold, what I did was I created a plane that I can sketch on for that front of that tombstone. In order to do that, I clicked on insert plane, clear the selected geometry. I'm going to select the axis that I created, and then also this point down here. And here it says that the axis point, I select normal to edge or axis, and that creates a plane that is normal to this axis, but then it also intersects with this point. And that's where I want. So I click apply and then close. So now I can create a sketch on this plane. So creating a sketch on this plane, I am now going to project in the first 2 points that we created. So this point over here and the center point over there. Create reference figure, maintain association, click OK. So now we have these 2 points. One that represents the center where that through hole should be, and then one represents the bottom where this edge needs to lie on. So I'm going to reset my view. So first I'm going to draw a line. In this line we know that it is 1.5 inches long. Using the midpoint constraint now I can select this edge, and the center point to center it. And then here, in order to get this to be in the correct height, we can use the horizontal constraint between this point and this point. And now it's locked in. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the circle tool, select the center point, and I'm just going to enter in 1 to define that tombstone shape. So 1 over here. Now I just need to draw a line that connects this, making sure that I can get that tangent constraint automatically. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Tangent, there we go. And then I can trim that away. And that's one part of the tombstone done. I'm going to deactivate the sketch. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to loft from the front to the back. So the next thing is to create the back of the tombstone. In order to do that, I created another plane. Here we go back to plane. So I'm going to create another offset plane from the first one. And here we can just enter in 1.625. And then click apply. Of course, there are other ways to do it. I think Harold demonstrated like along a sketch, and he was able to do like a percentage along this line. That was very cool. I did not know that that's how that worked, but this is how I did it. So here you go. We have another plane here, and we'll create another sketch on this plane. So from the back plane, what I did was, as a reference figure, I'm going to use the previous sketch that I created, the tombstone, and maintain association. And all I really want is just this arc. Oh, the other thing to project would be that third point that we created. So I'm going to project that point in. Okay, so like this point is going to be that horizontal. That's where that line needs to be drawn. So here I can convert this top arc from reference to a regular figure. And then I just need to draw a line that is get that tangent association But then I just need to, similar to before, I just need to make a horizontal constraint between this point and this point that we projected in. Yeah, we can do the same thing, or we can just mirror this on the X or on the Y axis. And then now to finish off will just be another line that connects these 2 points together. And that's done with that sketch. So now we have 2 sketches. We can use the loft command, select the sketch 3 and sketch 4, and that creates that tombstone. Obviously, now we need to create a through hole. So I'm going to create a sketch on one of these faces. I'm just going to project in, again, that first point, or that hole that represents that hole. I think that's 0.3. Okay, and then just create a circle, enter in 0.5. That's done. Deactivate the sketch, and then do an extrude cut through all, and that gets the tombstone shape. So I think that's where most of us had a difference in how we create that tombstone, but that's the way I did it, with 3 points and an axis. So lastly, we just need to do this wall and then this cylindrical piece, and then mirror it just like everyone else. But how I did it again was I use a lot of offset planes. I guess that's just how my brain works. So anyways, next thing we're going to do is create that wall. So using the plane, select the XY plane. And then here it gives us the end-to-end distance of that wall of 2.375. So I'm just going to enter 2.375, but we're going to divide that by 2 since we're working with half. So, and then click apply. So with this new plane, I create a sketch on this plane. And here I just project in that master sketch, which is sketch 2, reference figure, maintain association. And here we just need to draw out that wall. So I'm just going to select a bunch of things. I'm going to convert these 3 lines to regular figures, and then just using the line tool, just draw in this over here and then over here, and then I'll need to draw an arc here and here, and I believe that's it. Oh, did I skip this one? No. There we go. And then deactivate the sketch. Now I can just extrude, and it says the thickness of this wall is minus 0.25. So that's already correct. Click OK. So there's that. And then for that cylindrical piece, I'm going to create another plane off of XY. And here I entered the distance of 1.5 divided by 2. Click apply, close, and then create a sketch on that. And then once again, I'm just going to project in sketch number 2, which is our master sketch, reference figure, maintain association. And then here, I just need to select these two, and convert them to regular figures, deactivate the sketch. And I believe that the width of this is just 0.5 inches. So enter in 0.5. That's done. And then I guess we need to get this little wall over here. So in order to do that, I'm going to create a sketch on this face. And here, again, I'm going to project in that sketch number 2, maintain association. And then we just need to draw this outline over here. So using the line tool, I'm just going to click, 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 click. That's done. Deactivate the sketch. And then I just extrude, and I believe 2 next is all I need. Okay, and that's done. So last thing is to mirror all of these features. So using the mirror tool, let's select 14, 13, 11, I believe that's it. Mirror plane would be that XY plane. Click OK. And I think that's the part. To calculate the mass, of course, I need to select a material. Select from library, tool Taltobi, plane, carbon, steel, apply, and then inspect. Physical properties, calculate, and that gives us the mass of 2.6285 pounds, which is within the tolerance, 2.63 pounds from Tool Taltobi. So yep, here's another video, another Alibre tutorial. We already have 2 very good ones. Here's my take on it. Here's how I did it. I guess hopefully this helps somebody. I don't know who would be watching three tutorials, but very cool techniques demonstrated in the other 2. One by Ex Machina and one by Harold, from which I've seen. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye now.